Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, so here I will explain cost function and revenue function. Before entering into the previous discussion, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Heriyanto and NPM number 234111014 from class management 23C. Cost function and revenue function. The cost function is a mathematical function that describes the relationship between the production cost of a producer, service, and the amount of production or output level. This cost function includes all costs related to production, such as raw material costs, labor costs, overhead costs, and distribution costs. Revenue function, on the other hand, is a mathematical function that describes the relationship between receipts or income obtained from sales of products or services and the number of sales or output levels. This revenue function includes all revenue obtained from the sale of a product or service, such as the selling price per unit multiplied by the number of sales. In economic analysis, the cost function and revenue function are very important for calculating the profit or loss of a company. Companies can use the cost function to optimize production levels that produce the lowest production cost, while the revenue function is used to optimize production levels that produce the highest revenue. In the short run, a firm can maximize profits by producing at a level of output where total margin revenue, the change in margin cost, additional revenue from selling an additional unit, equals total margin cost, the change in additional cost from producing one by producing at a level of output where total margin revenue equals total margin cost and average cost equals selling price. In the context of the cost function and revenue function, it is important to note that companies must also consider other factors such as market demand, competition, and other external factors in making production and pricing decisions. Various types of cost function and revenue function. There are several types of cost function and revenue function that are commonly used in economics analysis. Here are some examples. Number 1, total cost function. This function describes the total production cost of a company as a function of the level of output or amount of production. This total cost function includes fixed costs and variable costs. Number 2, average cost function. This function describes the average cost per unit of output or production. This average cost function is obtained by dividing total cost by the amount of output. Number 3, marginal cost function. This function describes the change in additional costs that arise from producing one additional unit. This marginal cost function is obtained by calculating the derivative of the total cost function with respect to the level of output. Number 4. Total revenue function. This function describes the total receipts or income obtained from sales of products or service as a function of level of output or number or sales. Number 5. Marginal revenue function. This function describes the change in additional revenue arising from the sale of one additional unit. This marginal revenue function is obtained by calculating the derivative of the total revenue function relative to the output level. It is important to note that the from and characteristics of cost function and revenue function can vary depending on the type of industry, market structure, and other factors in more complex economic analysis. Cost function and revenue function are often used together to optimize a company's production and pricing decisions.